Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Health Check. I'm your host, Dr. Vanessa Bolling. Health Check is where you are able to check in on you. Health Check is sponsored by Kingdom Health Connections, which is a health promotional resource center where it's all about cultivating a culture of health, wellness, and healing for you and the entire family. So come on in, like, share, and let's get the information out there. Let's really empower and encourage parents on this morning, guardians, grandparents that are taking care of children. And as they're preparing and we're shifting our minds toward returning back to school as we're enjoying the rest of our summer. I just want to share with you some health tips to to help you prepare for back to school. And today's health tip is really about maintaining a good sleep hygiene and encouraging or promoting and creating a good sleep routine for children. So if you've had difficulty, kind of cultivating the sleep routine with your children, if you've had difficulty keeping consistent with it, tune in this morning. Let's share it with our family members, our friends, those who have children on this day. Good morning, everyone that is tuning in. So we're going to be talking about sleep and the importance of sleep. Sleep is really a building block for mental and physical health. A building block for mental and physical health. There's so many benefits that come in tone and come in line when we get good sleep, especially for children. It's so vital that children get good sleep because guess what? By the time they get our age, it's going to impact their entire life. And the building blocks of having good sleep hygiene really starts as a child. So the sooner we develop these patterns for children, the more likely they'll stay with it until they become old. Makes me think of the scripture, train up a child in the way that they should go so that when they're old, they don't depart from it. So we want to train our children how to get used to sleeping, recognizing the cues of when they should go to sleep, and not ignoring those cues for the sake of wanting to keep up with current, especially for the teens, the adolescents, and for school age children. Just wanting to keep up with the latest show or program, whatever it may be. Sometimes lack of sleep is associated with not wanting to miss out. Lack of sleep may be associated with nightmares. So even tuning in with the children and discovering and hearing what's going on when they sleep. What did they dream about? Did they have a dream? Are they scared of the dark? Really keying into these things because sleep is so important and it's a building block for their mental and their physical health. When children get sleep, it's been connected to happiness, alertness, attention, cognitive performance improvement, improved mood, resiliency, vocabulary acquisition. So it helps children be able to retain vocabulary, know how to express themselves. And we know it's not good, or it can be challenging rather, when children don't know how to express themselves. They may have developed more explosive anger tendencies. So this is so important. It helps them also learn. It helps them to retain memory, especially for toddlers. Napping helps them to consolidate their memories, their lessons that they're learning in the moment, helps with their motor skills as well as their attention. So though sleep is so important, it's been found that 25 to 50% of kids have sleep problems. School-age children and younger having sleep problems, and 40% of adolescents having sleep problems. And this was found by way of the Academy of Pediatrics, the American Academy of Pediatrics. So there's been so many benefits to sleep, but so many children are not learning how to sleep, how to embrace sleep, and how to wake up feeling rested. And not having sleep actually leads to mimicking ADHD-like behaviors, especially the hyperactive types. It's also been shown that 1/4 of children who are less than 5 years of age are not getting enough sleep. And that's been linked with chronic allergies, weakened immune systems, anxieties, depressions, obesity, diabetes, as well as high blood pressure. For adolescents, it's been linked to poor academic performance. And it's actually poor sleep hygiene has been linked or coined as a public health concerns for adolescents, a public health concerns for adolescents. And it's been shown also when teens don't get much sleep, they're more likely to build codependent relationships with substances. So substance abuse is more likely to happen. Why? Because we're trying to find something to soothe us, to help us to go to sleep, to feel happier. Remember, sleep is connected with improved mood and being able to feel happy in general. So it's so important that the children get sleep, and it's important that they learn how to sleep now so that when they're old, they don't have any issues with it. How many of us can attest to that some of our sleep issues, they turn back way back when we were a child? Maybe we didn't get any bedtime routines. Maybe mom or dad worked late night hours and we were scared, so we stayed up at night. There's so many things that are connected to sleep hygiene as a child and how it affects us as adults. So let's make sure that we really get the tools to train our children so that they can have good sleep. So I want to share with you some sleep hygiene tips that will help you as a parent, as a guardian, as a grandparent to encourage your children to get good sleep. Having a consistent bedtime is important. And this is important whether it's the summertime or during the school year. Why? Because if you lose or you don't keep up with those patterns throughout the summertime or even vacation times, it's actually been shown and been more linked towards sleep issues or difficulty sleeping. So having that consistent bedtime routine is important. So whether you're on vacation, whether it's summer break, don't break away from that bedtime routine. What's that bedtime routine? It's the steps towards getting the child to go to sleep, whether they're school age, whether they're toddlers, whether they're teens. Keeping that bedtime routine and the practices before going to bed regular is important, whether you're on vacation or not. So keeping that in mind is important. Let's encourage the atmosphere of no electronics. So no TV, no iPad, nothing prior to bed, at least 1 hour prior to bed. Why? We are developing that bedtime routine and helping that child, that adolescent, recognize those cues of, listen, I'm tired. And as I'm starting to have an increased release of melatonin and I'm getting tired, I need to now listen to my body and go to bed, right? So especially for school age children, toddlers, getting them into the routine of getting into pajamas, brushing their teeth, having a warm bath prior to going to bed is important for establishing that routine. If you're having difficulties with toddlers going to bed because they don't want to miss out, or perhaps they're scared, let's key into what's going on with them, why they're having difficulty going to bed. And let's give them a little bit more power and control, help them pick out their pajamas, help them pick out their pajamas. That's one way of giving them control prior to going to bed. But the status does not change. You're going to bed. It's time for bed. Toddlers especially, they may want to jump out of the bed and go into mom and dad's bed, maybe because they woke up. They may be afraid of the dark for some reason. They may jump in your bed. But the important things to recommend or remember is that if they jump into your bed, okay, well, let's walk you back to your bed, and you may lay with them or sit with them until they fall asleep. But we want to encourage a safe environment for the children to recognize it's safe to go to bed, and you do have to sleep in your bed. It's recommended to not co-sleep with your children. Especially infants. It's been connected to sudden infant death syndrome, that SIDS disorder. So not co-sleeping with infants is important. And even as the child begins to grow, you may lay with them until they fall asleep, but getting up and leaving them in the bed is good. They need to form that safe environment, that association that it is okay to go to bed. Even when babies are crying, it's recommended, yes, go ahead, soothe them, rock them to bed, but put them back in their their crib or whatever sleeping apparatus you may have, which is not your bed. Putting them back is important so they can then begin to develop that recognition that it's okay to sleep in the bed alone. So these things are important to help the children recognize the cues of I'm tired, it's safe for me to go to bed, it's okay. You may have to have a night light, whatever the case may be. You may have to sing them to sleep, read the Bible, pray before they go to bed. This is all important about developing a bedtime routine for the children to know that it is safe to go to bed and go to sleep, so they can also recognize the benefits of feeling rested when they wake up from sleep. Let's also keep in mind, let's make sure that we do not have TVs in the bedroom, because then children will begin to build that association of I need to have noise of a TV in order to go to bed, which actually will stimulate them from their brainwave activities and preventing them to actually have sleep. They may fall asleep, but they won't get into that REM sleep. That REM sleep is where you have dreams. That REM sleep is where you actually get that rested sleep. So though many people may say it's easier for me to fall asleep when I have the television on or the TV talking to me, it can prevent you from going into that REM sleep. Having music is okay, especially with no words, because the words will stimulate brainwave activities, and it may actually prevent you from getting into that REM sleep as you should. So let's keep those things in mind. Having a cool temperature also helps the children go to sleep. Dark curtains, creating that dark environment in the room also helps children go to sleep. Keeping a quiet bedroom helps them go to sleep too as well. Avoiding large meals before bedtime, especially things that are sugary, high in fat. Why? Because the body's going to work how the body's going to work. If you feed yourself as an adult or a child something really heavy before bedtime, the body is working and working and working when you're supposed to be sleeping, trying to digest that food. And it causes sugar spikes, which can then keep you up too as well. So let's keep these tips in mind. Sometimes there's been a thought that overexhausting the child as well can make them really, really tired, so they go to sleep at night. I want to wear them out so they can go to sleep at night. And there was actually a study that was shown in United Kingdom that overexhausting the child actually made them overly tired. And when children are overly tired, what do we tend to see sometimes? They become hyperactive, because it's like they're knowing like, man, I'm not supposed to be this tired. And they want to stay up, and they see the activity going. They don't want to go to sleep, and it actually causes them to have a hard time going to sleep at night. So making them overly tired is not something we want to do either. But especially when they're toddlers, having that nap time, remembering that their nap time is incorporated into their overall sleep cycle. So preschoolers, they should sleep 10 to 13 hours. School-age children, 9 to 12 hours, and teenagers who are 13 to 18 years of age to sleep 8 to 10 hours. Adults, we know 7 to 9 hours of sleep is what is recommended. So let's keep that bedtime routine. Let's keep these things in motion, so that way, as a family, you are able to sleep. Mom, dad's able to sleep. Parent, guardian is able to sleep. The children are sleeping. Teens tend to mimic what their parents do. So even if the whole house is up, maybe dad is into music and he's playing music late night hours, the teen is just, they're rocking with the music too. So let's create that environment in our homes to sleep. Let's turn the lights off. Let's keep the noise level low so that the children can sleep. Sleep is so important in boosting immune systems, helping with their concentration, helping with so many things. So let's keep this in mind. Well, that we have the opportunity to choose life. We have the choice between life and death, blessings and curses. I call all of heaven to witness the decision that you and I make today. Oh, that we would choose life so that we would live and our children and children's children will also live. I pray that you are all blessed this morning. Go ahead and put hashtag I choose life. Say how you're going to do it. Hold yourself accountable. Hold one another accountable. Maybe you're an adult and you recognize some childhood things that have interfered with your sleep patterns and you want to put this into practice. Go ahead and do it. I encourage you. We need sleep. I know I myself have been intentional about getting sleep because it's so important. I recognize that, my attitude is better. Memory is better too, as well. I'm able to cope with challenging situations a lot better, especially if it's right on the spot, less snappy. So there's so many benefits to it. And whatever your history might have been, there's an opportunity today to choose life. Let's move forward. Let's rewrite the script so that we get good sleep and we encourage our children and children's children to do the best. As always, I will see you here again on Health Check, sponsored by Kingdom Health Connections. I'm your host, Dr. Vanessa Bolling. I'll see you on next week, Tuesday, 9 a.m., Facebook Live, as well as YouTube. Have a blessed and prosperous day. Bye-bye.